Thanks. I've been fascinated by this discussion from a historian's point of view, in particular about what it has done, in a sense, to history, at least large stretches of what we call human history. I was reminded of, some of you will remember in Aldous Huxley's Brave New World, at the very beginning when the Brave New World is set up, Mustafa Mond declares the end of history, and he does it by destroying museums and libraries because we don't need any history anymore. And in a very similar way, there's a lot of very similar currents going on in this room. I was thinking of Paul and Dan's comments about the series of human experiments, perhaps getting at Enlightenment 2.0 and finally getting it right, which I think was also embedded in Ted's remarks as well. And I think this is part of what Scott is replying to, namely that there may be an imagined natural morality back there, but is it actually a deeply natural moral world, a sort of the hunter-gatherer society that we're thinking of in some historical sense way back there? What I find really interesting is that if one posits a natural morality that produces through evolutionary processes a moral capacity embedded in the brain that is not necessarily religious capacity, then the human history from the agricultural revolution down to the industrial revolution becomes what Robert Sapolsky calls one of the greatest stupid mistakes of all time. And in a sense, then the historians who study it are just a little bit kooky. I was thinking of, I was chatting with Stuart last night, and Stuart very comfortingly said to me, I'm not one of those who thinks that history, like most scientists, who thinks that history is a pile of shit, which really sort of struck home the point about, what are the historians doing meddling about in this sort of odd era. So it does make me wonder whether this symposium is about Enlightenment 2.0 or about Utopia 2.0.